and DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
The trouble with loyalty to a cause is that the cause will always betray you.
So, last night, right before I was going to bed, I see this video. Check YouTube, see this video. Oh, the scene just changed. Oh, how pretty. Oh. Anyways, I see this video. Ilhan Omar attacked. And I went, oh shit. This is what I'm talking about tomorrow. Might as well watch it. I watched the video. And I laughed my ass off. I was like, oh my god. Here we go. Went to bed. Woke up this morning. Was riding with a guy at work, so I had all day and hours to sit around and just look at my phone, see what's going on, see things developing, what are people saying about it. And what do I see? Amazingly enough, what do I see? Day 1 into the investigation, what do I see? We've already finished the investigation. Here's what happened. She was attacked by a right-wing, evil MAGA racist piece of shit Nazi motherfucker. And we need to put them all in camps, and Donald Trump needs to be impeached and executed, and all manner of crazy stuff has to happen. Right? Side 1. Side 2 says, this bitch saged this shit. She's in trouble. She knows she's in trouble. She staged this shit. What do I think? What side am I on? Well, what happened? She was doing a speech, doing a town hall thing or whatever, and she says that we're going to have to get rid of Kristi Noem. Kristi, the Noem, We're going to have to get rid of her. And guy gets up, shoots something on her, backs off, yelling and screaming at her. He gets tackled. She makes like she's gonna hit him. He gets tackled. They take him into custody, arrest him, I imagine. One would hope. But who knows, it's Minnesota. They might have just kicked him out and went, don't do that again. Who fucking knows, man. So, take him out of custody. And she says, no, we're going to continue. I'm not leaving. I'm not getting checked out. I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not getting naked in front of everybody. No. I'm gonna fucking finish this speech. Because these motherfuckers aren't going to get away with this. This is what we know. What have we learned on the first day of investigation? What have the mommy sleuths come up with to shine some light over all of this so that they can get it terribly fucking twisted and wrong? What do we got now? Reports indicate that it was a foul-smelling orange liquid that was sprayed from a syringe upon her breasts. The guy shot a load of an orange liquid all over her titties. Now, I could think of a few foul-smelling orange liquids that might make somebody go into a panic thinking that it was something very bad. One of them stands out to me quite starkly: vinegar. Is vinegar harmful to get sprayed on your tits? Not so much. Is it harmful to get sprayed in your fucking eyes? Absolutely. But, it can be. I mean, it's not like it's going to burn out your fucking eyes, but it'll sting. It'll sting like a motherfucker. You have to wash shit out. You know, it could be bad. Like, It's not the word. It's not going to blind her. I don't think vinegar would blind you. I don't really know, honestly. Who knows? The little membrane on our eyes, it's not really all. It's not fucking steel, you know. It's not as durable as skin, I don't think. I just think it heals a lot faster. Anyways, neither here nor there. Didn't spray it in her eyes. You shot on her tits. Now, there's that. Pretty sure vinegar. I think that was why she was ready to go on. At one point, I'm not going to say that this is absolutely concerned. I went through the video a couple of times, right? And then I started watching other people talking about it and going through other stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I think I know what happened here. So I decided to make the video. Because I think I'm solid on this. I think I'm rock solid on this, right? Vinegar on the tits. What else do we know? Well, we know that prior to the attack, Ilhan Omar kind of glances up at the guy who attacks her. Kind of like that. Right? And she sits there and pauses and kind of waits. Doesn't do anything. Gets... Right? And then she gets pissed. I'm going to punch you! And then they tackle the guy. Right? That's... What is she looking up at him for? What the fuck is that? She looks up at him? What the fuck is that? That's crazy. It's almost like she signaled him. Right at the end of her point that Christy the Gnome, Christy the Gnome needs to be, get rid of her! Right? She just finishes making that point. And almost as if on cue, she looks at the guy. Almost as if to cue him. And on cue, he gets up, shoots a load on her tits, runs away screaming. Big, and I mean, the framing of all of the shots, there's the shot from the side. You know, she's standing there at the lectern talking. It's a shot from this way. And he backs off screaming at her. Practically looking directly in the camera as if it was blocked out to be there. And you wonder to yourself, well, why the fuck did they have the camera there anyways? Because there's some fucking retard standing right in front of Ilhan Omar. You can't hardly fucking see her. So what is this camera doing here? Like, why are we filming her from the side like that? It's kind of odd. And then they have another camera that's straight on, where you can really see her reaction really good. And it's almost as if it's framed really well to get her reaction to him, because it's almost like that's more interesting than him being fucking arrested. So they're paying attention to her because she's a fighter. You know, right? This is some B-roll right here. Right? And, I don't know, man, it all looks so staged. Right? So obviously it's fake, right? Well, we're missing something, aren't we? Where's the Subway sandwich? I didn't hear one Subway sandwich. Did anybody else find a Subway sandwich? I think we've lost the Subway sandwich. I don't have a Subway sandwich. I don't have a Subway sandwich. How could I possibly not have a Subway sandwich after that little tirade that I just went on? Well, let's work in reverse. The camera staging, the setup. Right? They're filming her from the side, getting a good profile shot for every time that she does these things, so that she can have a bunch of shots of her pointing and yeah. Right? It is a dramatic angle to shoot a political speaker at. You get that a lot. Also, they're filming her from the front. You get that a lot. You know what I mean? It's somebody in the audience. They're all kind of to the side. Probably a reporter of some sort. And if it is a reporter, well, that explains how they're getting her reaction so good and square and everything, because that's part of what you want to do. A guy getting drugged down and arrested is nowhere near the shot of getting a politician attacking the guy that attacked her. That is so much more of a dramatic shot. That is so much more of a campaign ad. Ilhan Omar's a fighter. Look at her go. Right? Of course they're going to get really good shots like that because that's what they do. And the chick that's standing in front of her the whole fucking time so that you can't see anything from the side, she's reacting realistically. She got her titty squirted on, so she's like, what the fuck? And she runs up to go and get her titty squirted on her. I don't know what the fuck she was going to do. Tackle the guy? I have no clue. But she decides to insinuate herself because what the left does, they insinuate themselves and fucking everything. And she gets in the way of the shot, which I think honestly proves not really there for the staging. Otherwise, she'd have probably been in on it. Hey, dumb fuck, get out of the fucking way of the shot. We set this up on purpose. I don't really think that the staging of it holds water. I don't really think that that fits. That was something. I don't even think anybody else has really mentioned that, but that was something that stood out to me when I was still on the side of, man, this looks like bullshit. But the other big thing, the look, the nod, the whatever it was, right? Well, let's think about it. Ilhan Omar is a politician. She's a sitting congresswoman, right? And you might not realize this. You might have never really thought of it. But when you get into Congress, you wind up having to learn a lot of crazy shit. Like security measures and stuff like that. And one of the things that I can only imagine that they teach you is, if you're ever up there doing a speech, make sure you're looking at the audience, especially the people in the front row. Because they're the ones that have closest access to you, right? And if everybody in the front row is looking at you like this, they're paying attention to you. If everybody in the front row is looking at you like this, they're probably not paying attention to you. And if somebody in the front row is looking at you like this, they're about to do some shit. If you're up there speaking and somebody's looking at you through their fucking eyebrows, they're about to do something. You best be aware of that, because that could save your life. Just noticing that. They teach you that shit. Because it's reality. Because it's real. They teach you that shit. It's a good way to profile. If somebody's looking at you like this while you're speaking, they don't fuck. They're engaged with you. They're listening to you. This motherfucker's the one that's about to kill you. Right? And I bet you that as she was finishing her point, she goes to look down at her notes. She catches out of the glimpse of her eye, fucking this. And she gives it a full look for a brief second. Puts her head back down. Now, at that point, I can only imagine that time has slowed down. Ilhan Omar, in that moment, is literally living in between the ticks. Time has slowed down for her. She is now in a heightened state of things. That first shot of adrenaline, that shit hits your system and you're like, oh, everything broadens out. Time slows down to a fucking crawl. I've been through this. I can't even tell you how many times. I know exactly what she is going through. Everything's slowed down. Her brain processes what she sees. Adrenaline. She's now looking down. Her mind is going, that guy's about to do some shit. Either I'm about to die or I am going to have to defend myself. And he gets up, load on the tits, he moves off. She realizes, I'm not burning. This doesn't hurt. It smells bad. Smells like vinegar. I'm gonna fuck this motherfucker up. These synapses are firing in her brain so fast and she is processing this shit so fast. I totally believe that as an argument. If she came out and gave that argument, look, we're trained to recognize threats, and the look I gave him was the look of, holy shit, he's a threat. And then I froze because I was like, something's about to happen. And then once I realized it wasn't anything bad and it didn't hurt me and I was fine, I wanted to kick his ass and then keep going with my speech. Right? I can totally see that being the reasoning of it. So, obviously it's real. I got no Subway sandwich, man. Fresh out. We didn't make enough bread this morning, and we ain't got no dough. We are out of bread. I can interest you in a foot-long cookie or some twirly cinnamon sticks, but I have no Subway sandwich. Everything makes sense to me. I started to really think about it. All totally makes sense to me. Well then, Andy, I hear you say, what the fuck happened? Well, I think to figure out what happened, we need to look at the bigger picture. It was what? 3 days ago? 3 days ago. God, is it only 3 or 4 days ago? Fuck me. 3 or 4 days ago. Minneapolis, Minnesota was totally overrun with sometimes violent protesters, mostly just obnoxious as fuck protesters, all of them breaking laws. I'm sure there are sound ordinances they were breaking. I'm sure that they are just... I imagine there's all sorts of fucking crimes that happen. Right? Places in utter fucking chaos. Everything's going nuts. People are getting themselves shot. We got people fucking dying in the streets. This looks bad for everybody. We need to make a deal. 3 days ago. Right? Make a deal. Shutting shit down. No. Shutting it down. Cops come in. Shutting shit down. No. Tom Homan's going to go there. He's going to make a deal. We're going to get our criminals. You're going to get much less of an ICE presence. You're going to work with us. We're going to work with you. Everybody's going to be happy. Except all the protesters. Because everybody that's not out protesting wants every fucking illegal out of this fucking country tomorrow. Everybody who is at the protest wants the entirety of the rest of the world to illegally come into America so that we have 8 billion people in this country and this country alone. And we'll pay for all of your stuff. Right? These are the two sides to the equation here. Okay? And so now, the government that was right on their side, make sure you're out there. Make sure you're out there getting yourself shot for us. We need the fucking press. Right? We got to change hearts and minds. And the only way to change hearts and minds is to get enough of you to kill yourselves. That we can change hearts and minds. These are the people that love abortion. These are the people that gave us MAID. To go out and kill yourself, that's kind of a thing. Oh shit. Don't do that. No, nobody do that. I don't want anybody to do that. Nobody do that thing. Oh my god, I said the words 3 in a row. Oh shit. Oh, this is probably going to be another fucking strike. Get ready for this to be a strike, those of you who get to see this video. But yeah, now I lost my whole fucking train of thought. Anyways. Cops come in, shut shit down. Right? Waltz is now a traitor. Right? Because like a day ago, I hear about Tim Waltz has got a fuck ton of protesters in his office. They're not protesting him. Oh shit. Right? And so now we've got this with Ilhan Omar. So you know what I think happened is, I think that we are going to find out that this guy is a crazy person. At the end of the day, this person is a crazy person. You want to know why? Because he decided to squirt an unknown liquid onto a sitting congresswoman while she's giving a fucking speech. You have to be crazy to do that. It's a crazy person. You know what else I think we're going to find out? I think we're going to find out that it's a crazy leftist person who's pissed off at Tim Waltz and Ilhan Omar because he's going to blame them for the betrayal of, you guys are working with Tom Homan and you're working with Donald Trump now. You got the call, so you folded. Paid off, whatever. Because now they go after their politicians. Because this is what they do. This is how they work. This is why whenever they lose, they go out in the streets and riot. Because, well, now it's time to riot. We lost. Now we riot. So, once they lose, well, now we lost. You lost for us. Well, now we're going to come after you. And we've had this sort of thing happen in Minnesota before. God, was it only last year when that lady and her husband got shot? And we found out that no, it wasn't some crazy MAGA guy screaming "This is MAGA country" as he gunned down two people. It was some crazy leftist guy who believed that Tom Homan was sending him secret coded messages telling him to go and do this. No matter what, it's a crazy person. He looked like he was drunk. I've heard somebody say that he has Parkinson's, so he could be doing this sort of motions because he's got Parkinson's. He could be doing those sort of motions because he's not drinking Fiji water. He's drinking vodka in a Fiji bottle. Could be either or. I think I'm pretty solid with the whole vinegar thing. I think it's going to wind up being vinegar. He didn't spray it in her face because it could have gotten on her head thing. And she might have ripped her head thing off and disgraced herself. So, because he's a goofy leftist, he wouldn't dare do that. He'd just shoot it on her tits instead because that's kind of, sexual depravity is generally more the direction that they go in a pinch. So I think we're about to find out that he's a crazy nutbag leftist who decided to attack his own side because his own side turned against him. Because at the end of the day, the trouble with loyalty to a cause is that the cause will always betray you.